outstanding guest for you today. And listen to me, before we even get into that, you see, sometimes the devil tries to prevent you from doing what you need to do. She ended up in Wood Green. Wood Green, could you believe it? But we refuse to cancel the show, because just like the BBC and ITV, we will send a taxi to collect you when you end up stranded. So she's on her way here in a taxi. The show today, groundbreaking interview where she's hitting the modeling industry by a storm, kicking those doors down so everybody else could come in. Listen, we can't wait for this interview. It's been over 2 weeks of back and forth, and she's meant to be out the country. She's refused to leave so we could have this interview. Stay tuned. The amount of trouble that she's gone through to get here today is amazing. We nearly cancelled, but we don't cancel on the Gwenton show. Regardless of what happens, we make it happen. Just like the BBC, we just sent an Uber. And now we've got Goddess Diamonds on the show, and we're going to be having a different conversation, something that has never taken place here before. So we welcome Goddess Diamonds and Nadia onto the show. Just in case your family is watching, then that who's Goddess Diamonds. So we have to remind them it's still you. You haven't turned into someone else.
Not at all.
So where do we start? Yes. First of all, thank you for coming. I know it's been weeks of preparation to get you here, and don't know where you were meant to be across the world, but you stayed in England to have this interview with us. Mm-hmm. So just a bit about you. Who are you?
So I'm an ambassador for Models of Diversity's charity, and I was first scouted in 2019. And I was discovered by Miss Angel Sinclair. She has her own charity which advocates for diverse models.
And what does that mean?
So it's making sure that there's full representation in every single part of the fashion industry, the beauty industry, and the media industry. And she saw a potential in me to become a plus size model. And when she saw me, it was actually a summer's day. I was walking down Brixton. And she saw me and said that I should be in a show. And within 2 weeks, I was on a show. I was in Vogue. I've had the pleasure of doing Fashion Week numerous amount of times. I've been on Sky News and various different appearances. And I've got another show tomorrow, actually.
It's funny. I've been saying for years I'd love to do modelling, because sometimes I go out, I get harassed. But not anymore.
You should. It's a charity that's been around for 12 years, 13 years. And at first, people were like, they weren't as receptive as they are nowadays. But now we're trying to make sure that it's not a form of tokenism.
So I don't have to go gym. So if I wanted to do modeling, no gym, no none of that.
No, we don't require those.
I love this. The sound of this is amazing, because I remember I was looking into it. I all went to try and get a portfolio done, and I'm like, I have to go gym. I got a little cousin now, and they were twins. And his younger brother got signed for Ipswich, and we were worried about the other one, because you got twins, they do everything together. And the other brother got signed, and my aunt was worried. She's like, "What am I going to do with him?" Because we could see he was upset. He's losing his twin. And then now he's on the plane all the time doing modelling all over the place, and I'm like, "Watch you, boy!"
International modelling. That's amazing. I think, the stigma of it being a specific standard and everyone looking the same is extremely boring. And I think we've all got to a point where we want to have a differentiation. Not just based on appearances, but based on culture, based on religion, based on your story as well. We advocate for different stories. So it's not just based on what country you come from. It could be based on mental health. It could be based on your disability. It could also just be based on a lifetime experience of just wanting to celebrate your own beauty and celebrate your individualism, and kind of be in commemoration of a amazing community.
So for you, before, let's call it scouted,
Right.
you were scouted on that hot summer's day walking down Brixton.
Yeah.
What was you doing in Brixton in the first place?
I'm not going to lie. I went down there to go and get a wig, and I also went down there to go and get some carrot juice.
Okay, because
it was like Jamaican carrot juice. I was like, I fell in love with it the week before, and then I went back to get some more.
But boy, give thanks to the carrot juice, because it ended up bringing you where you are now. So for me, did you ever think of going into modelling before that?
A lot of people used to say it, and I was considering it until I actually approached a modelling agency, and they said to me that I would have to drop down to a size 0.
Yeah.
You know, it was really bad what they used to call petite models back in the day. They used to call them size 0.
Okay.
And they wanted me to be around that size. And at the time, I was like a size 10. And I just personally didn't want to waver in my soul.
All of that. Because that can make you sick.
Yeah, no, I said no and decided to go down the beauty therapy route and did normal 9 to 5s, had my little expression with playing guitar.
Okay, so you're a musician as well?
I'm like a private musician.
Okay.
I haven't actually officially shown people what I'm capable of, but I might this year. I've been doing it for 21 years. So.
What?
Yeah, playing guitar for a long time. It's like
for yourself?
Yeah, it's like a real outlet for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love to play guitar alongside soul music, hip hop, you know, various different songs.
So wait now. So if someone come and scout you to come do some music, gonna throw out the modelling?
No, I wouldn't. I would do it alongside possibly like a little tune here and there, but I don't know if I'd pursue it as a main career, because for me it's just like a really great emotional outlet for me when I play guitar. Sony,
if you're watching, she's available, you understand? If the price is right, she's gone.
Maybe.
But my thing is this. I've seen things on the telly about plus size models.
Yeah.
And for me, it was good to see that you were able to have your dreams come true. Because a lot of people wanted to do modeling for years and they were told, go and lose weight. You don't fit a certain criteria. Yeah. And as I said, even for me as a man, because when you're depressed sometimes, it's either you put on weight or you lose weight.
Right.
When you see me losing weight, it's because I'm depressed. So someone's given me some stress and I've dropped down to nearly a size 0. Quick time.
Yeah.
But I also, when I'm in a happy space, you can see it. Because I'm like, now I'm in a happy space. You understand?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, wait a minute, I wonder if I could do modelling. Because sometimes you walk on the road and you see some, even man tell me, right, you look good. Yeah. And I'm like, I did look in the mirror earlier. And I thought so. But for a man to come tell me you look good, and certain time, the next man don't like another man complimenting them.
Right.
But to me, I rate that for another man to tell you, brother, you're looking all right, you know. Yeah. Then once you're cool in your sexuality, you shouldn't even worry about that.
Think about it,
Women say that all the time.
Of course.
You understand? Even my children, I'm leaving the house like, Dad, where you going, boy? And like, I feel good because you notice, because I've gone and put something else on that I don't normally wear. But are you ready to take that next step?
Honestly, it also depends on the journey, because for me, originally I was supposed to start modelling when I was around 7, but my mum passed away, unfortunately. When I was around 11 years old. So we only took professional photos, but we didn't have the chance to actually send them out.
Okay.
So Godsend was Angel.
So your mum done see this from early?
I'd being the tallest girl in the room, being quite petite and walking a specific way already.
Was that trained or just?
No, I think it was just down to my mum teaching me how to sit up straight and hold myself as a woman, and making sure that I present myself in a very, I would say in a confident, but in a very well-mannered way.
So etiquette and elegance, all of that stuff.
Absolutely, in an elegant way. And I think just having those types of morals, manners, it just gave me perspective. Yeah. And so when I first saw the likes of Naomi Campbell, for example, because she was the first model I'd ever seen in my life. I thought she was absolutely beautiful. And so seeing individuals who have kind of sparked the interest in me, I knew that it was God's blessing when it came to me in 2019.
Yeah.
For sure. It came to me unexpectedly. And since then, me and Models of Diversity has changed my life.
Okay.
Honestly, it's changed my life in a perspective of me using my voice and advocating for more than just myself. So plus size, dark skin models, there is a huge, I would say, a huge demand for us to be shown.
Yes.
Because I don't think that you can represent one tonality for a conglomerate of a race, especially when it comes to black people.
Yeah. But again, where is this information being shared?
So this information is shared on social media.
Yeah.
It's being shared on my Instagram. It's being shared on Models of Diversity's page as well, because the woman who owns the charity is a beautiful black woman.
Okay.
And so she has shown me through perseverance and through resilience and through consistency that we have to represent for our kind, because we're so used to people giving us reason to believe that we should stop, or there's some type of cap to it, there's some type of limit to it, where there's no limit at all. You should be able to represent yourself passionately in what you love to do with no limitations.
So when we look at London Fashion Week and all of that stuff, are you a part of that, or is there a total separate event?
I am.
Okay.
I am. I've walked in 5 different shows so far, and I've been doing it for 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
And so whether it be summer or winter, I've had the pleasure of walking for London Presents. I've had the pleasure of being on the runway within 2 weeks of being scouted by Angel, and it was her runway. It was Models of Diversity charity runway. We have so many shows coming up as well. A beautiful show tomorrow in Earlsfield. You're welcome to come if you'd like to.
One thing I've learned about these things.
Yeah.
For a man that's not single, going to those shows, it's like, oh my God, it's women's everywhere there.
Yeah.
I went to one and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to just ring my missus, let her know I'm behaving myself. Because, you know, like, because the women were just everywhere. I had to tell them, like, no, I'm okay. But
but it's a fun experience. Yeah. And it's one of which where we're not just doing it primarily just for diverse shows. We're trying to infiltrate the barrier of where you see the elite.
Yes.
So if you see people like Kendall Jenner, we're trying to get to a point where there's more than just Ashley Graham on the runway. There's multiple women, multiple men. And
also approachable as well. I think
exactly.
Normally and I'm glad you touched on that. Now modeling's become like the person from the internet. Whoever's the most famous, I think Instagram. Yeah. Instagram's created a lot of platform for models where we've got normal people from normal walks of life put up a few pictures on Instagram. The next thing you know, they're the biggest model. Yeah. Being flown out to all sorts of places just to
model.
Yeah. Or take a picture of a brand or something. And that started from Instagram.
Yeah, I think with Instagram, it's very interesting because you get models who are, let's say they have a huge fan base. Yeah. And they have a huge devoted fan base. So therefore, it's a consumer's audience. Yes. And due to that, you know, the brands see that it's tangible. Yes. You know, it has some form of tangible dividends. Yeah. For them to align with that particular model. And so you have specific models who may be, you know, plus size models, Instagram models, fashion models, lingerie models, because I do lingerie and fashion as well. Yeah. And so it just depends on what type of category you go for. But as long as you do it with full passion, with full confidence, don't stop. Don't allow any moments in your life or rejection to stop you from pursuing your career, because the foundation of the industry is based on rejection. So as long as you're prepared for that, you'll be okay.
And that leads me into my next question is how comfortable, because I think being a model, I go swimming, I'll back my top off, I don't care. But when someone's telling you, like, there's 100 people in the room, just get naked, get in this top.
Yeah.
You have to be prepared to just, it's just a show. Like, how do you get to that point where you might have to quickly change into something else and the room's got other people in there?
Other people.
How do you get to that point?
At first, it's nerve-wracking, have to be honest with you. It is nerve-wracking because, of course, you've got to change really quickly and things of that nature. But it depends on what type of modelling you're doing. If it's glamour modelling, then you're a bit more exposed. There's a bit more nudity. But if it's lingerie modelling, then it's literally lingerie. So, for example, if you were to wear something of Savage Fenty, you're in lingerie and you're taking the pictures. And it depends on the photography. If it's not too promiscuous and it's about selling the brand and the actual brand of that particular lingerie, then you're expected to take pictures a specific way, but they don't want to distract the picture
from the because that's what I was going to ask.
The model instead of the brand.
Have you ever been on a shoot and then they start asking for a bit more?
No.
Okay, that's good.
No, you've got to know your boundaries and you have to make your boundaries clear. And I think if you are really uncertain, always take someone with you. Okay. Just so you feel protected in a situation and make sure that everything's written out in an email, in written format, because should in case anything is used against your will, then there was some type of paper trail or contractual agreement that aligns with the original agreement that you agreed to terms to.
You got a lawyer?
Well, I do. I have quite a few lawyers because I have quite a few cousins.
So you got a lawyer to watch the other lawyer?
Yeah.
That watches that lawyer?
Maybe something like that, but also my association as well. So I've got a lot of people who protect me in this, a lot of people who've trained and, advocate for me to learn and to, prosper. So it's given me a sense of understanding, and I guess 4 to 5 years has given me a form of understanding as well. It's a day in, day out passion of mine. So,
and what about the fame? Has it got to your head? You become a bit bougie?
I wouldn't even call it fame because I'm building an authentic audience. Because this is something I do want to look in the camera and say this. I don't have hundreds of thousands of followers. Okay. But what I do have is an authentic following of people seeing me grow. Yeah. And I'm recognized to a degree, but I would rather be recognized for my passion in what I do than to just be a noticeable face. You have to have purpose behind yourself. You have to have a reason for people to engage with you, or otherwise you'll just be seen as everybody else, Okay.
But if a fan wants to go and tattoo you on them, would you like that?
I would be shocked.
Anybody out there, prove you're a real fan? Go on, tattoo Nadia on you right now.
You don't have to do You don't have to do that. But I would just say, I love engaging with people. I love encouraging people. I love to be inspired by people as well. But I wouldn't say tattoo yourself.
Yeah. Well, if you want to, she's not gonna complain. Yeah, this is what fan base is about, and let's get her up to the 100,000 that she deserves.
Oh wow!
My thing is this, and I'm gonna be honest with you. When the people, and some connected people told me, you better get her on the show, cancel everybody else. What I liked about you is you're just down to earth. You're not throwing tables at the assistant. No. And I think this is something that I want people to learn as well, is the bigger you grow, stay humble. Yeah. And I think that's one thing that I like about you. You haven't allowed this to get to your head, because when you come back down from that pole, the same people you're throwing the table at are going to be there.
Right. It's that, as well as I think we can all grow. Yeah. I think we have the potential to be great. I think we have the potential to be great in who we are, where we're going, and how we're trying to evolve as people, whether it be in family, relationships, or within your career. But the one thing you don't want to lose is the set foundation And the set foundation is those who loved you without seeing anything from a monetary place. I think if you start to confuse that type of ideology with real life, you start to lose a sense of your own identity. And you know, you have to be realistic. I'm who I am because of my family and because I'm so strongly connected and close to my family and my friends.
It's like a protection. I've got a friend, and I remember her coming up in this game, and it was hard. She had men trying to sleep with her.
Right.
She had men trying to propose to her, all sorts of stuff. And now she's big in the property game. Right. She looks after young people across the country. And now I see all people trying to be her friend because they see her buying nice car in Louis Vuitton or wherever she goes shopping.
Right.
Her dog's got even a jacket. The dog's got like Moschino jacket. And I said to her the other days, stop making new friends because that people want to go out to dinner with her and all of that now. And that's something that I always have to remind people is that who were there for you when you were there, keep them on the train because you're going to make all these new friends. I'm your bestie. Let's go out and all of that stuff.
You know, there's a difference between someone that loves you that doesn't want anything from you. And sometimes it's not even based on materialism that they may want from you. A person can show you charm and love, but until you say no to them, you don't know what they're capable of. You don't know what their true intent is. A person can show you love until they get exactly what they need from you. And it's about making sure that you stick to the solid people in your life. So regardless of wherever you stand, they don't waver in their loyalty to you because people can love you as long as you're successful. But what about those who care less for your success and more for your well-being, more for your mental health?
Are you good?
Yeah.
Are you good?
How are you? Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right.
Yes.
And this is something people don't ask because with the lack of phone communication, so no more phone calls, everything's WhatsApp, texting. I don't know how you sound.
Yeah.
And just a phone call, I'll be like, wait a minute, what's wrong? Because the temperature and the energy coming through the phone isn't how you normally sound.
Exactly.
And even I got about 3 or 4 friends and it's me, are you good? And then they're asking me, am I good? We will do that 3 times a week because I don't know if yesterday something happened to you or today that has changed your whole world. So I'm still going to check in.
Exactly. I think checking in on each other, making sure you support each other, making sure that you keep a consistent relationship because consistency is key. Consistency is key. As long as you have a consistent relationship, you'll have no problem. But taking time to ask people how they are instead of what you want to do, where you want to go or what you want, that's the difference between a true friend and someone who is there for their own reasons.
Another thing as well, which I see coming out now, protect yourself. And the reason why I say this is this. You might have a partner, whether it's girl, boy, whatever, and you're having a moment with them, they want to capture it on their phone, or now you're traveling the world, your partner's like, oh, babes, I'm missing you so much. Send me a video or a picture. And the next thing you break up with them and they're like, hello, Daily Mail, I got something for you.
Oh, you know, it's funny you should say that. I have something to tell you. But honestly, with relationships, if you can't be with someone that is present, and when I say present, I mean they're there, they have no interest whatsoever to take into consideration, pulling out their phone, recording each moment, that's the person that you want. There needs to be time where, you can document what you're doing, but don't allow that to be your whole life.
But
you have the right to privacy too.
But isn't that now how the world's going? Because my children, if they're eating a cake, they're taking a picture of the cake. If they're tying their shoelaces, but who cares if you're tying your shoelaces? Like, we go out to eat and they've got their phone out. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Don't turn the light on. Twist the plate this way. That's my food. You don't need to show the world my food. Right. Or me and you go out to eat and I can't even start eating because you want to
take pictures and so on and so forth. I don't like that. You know, with the younger generation, I have to, you know, we have to think. They have been brought up in social media. Yes. Whereas we had the opportunity to grow
into it.
Yeah. So I can't really fault them too much. However, it's just about having that balance where you tell them, you know, or you express to them, it's okay to be on your phone. It's okay to document moments, special moments, but also have time for yourself. Have time for yourself, you know, reality, and be present in the moment.
Yeah. So let's be virtual in real life and not via the phone or the internet.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't be so tuned in, codependent on social media and appearances, because I think that's one thing that drives everyone at this point. I wouldn't even say it's just the younger generations. I think it's everyone. So being present in yourself and making sure that you feel things, making sure you embrace things, making sure that you enjoy things is important, and protecting yourself, as you said.
And we even go deeper than that, where we're thinking, you know what? Make sure that the people around you is clean, because that's a big one, because although you might not be involved in what they're involved in, the higher you grow, the more exposed you become. Other people's business affects you.
Absolutely. Your association, I thought you meant hygienically for a second.
It could even be that. If your friend don't want to have a shower.
Those friendship ended from a long time.
Listen, with the living life crisis, some people are bathing once a week, you know.
Why?
Yeah, because they don't want to turn on their gas and electric.
Wow.
In some cultures, bathing once a week is acceptable.
Wow.
Because they say that you get diseases if you bath more than once a week.
Oh, wow. I come from Ghana, so it's a different story.
Ghana must be wasting a lot of water.
We shower every day. We shower every day. I mean, I respect everybody has a different way of treating their bodies, but clean.
Wet wipes and move?
Hey. No. A good scrub down exfoliation.
Yeah. Like coming to America. You get two people.
No, I'm by myself. I'm concentrating. For me, it's a real vibe.
Okay.
Yeah.
but serious, this
cleanness. No, you do need to take in mind that as you get older, all these things that you could sacrifice, your freedom, your safety, your family. If anybody wants to infiltrate those three things, they shouldn't be around you. Simply because everything is to prove a point at times. Yeah. But sometimes you need to consider the consequences that come with that. If it requires you to go to prison, if it requires you to lose your life or endanger your life.
What if you love the person and they're like, if you love me, go and do this prison sentence.
No.
I'll look after you when you come out.
No.
I'll visit you twice a month.
No. There's certain things. This is what I mean by not wavering in your soul. When you are presented with specific things that feel unnatural to you, you have to stand by what feels natural for you.
But I love you though. Why wouldn't you go to prison if you love me?
I love my family. And I love my life, and I love my freedom. I love my mental health. I love my legacy, to stand for something. I love not to go through a struggle that I'm not even accountable for.
I think not everyone is strong enough to make that decision. I
understand.
I've seen some places where people have ended up in problems, and it's because somebody said, "I love you." Don't you love me? If you love me, give up this modeling thing. Pray. I don't want man looking at you every minute.
No, you have to pray about it, because the way I got scouted,
I'm gonna tell the pastor that I don't want you doing modeling no more.
Right, you can tell him, but the pastor is not God, and this is what people fail to realize. The way I was presented with my life and the things I've survived from. and making sure that people that I love are okay, making sure that everyone is supported, making sure that even myself, I'm able to accomplish something with my life. There is nothing that's come to me by accident. There is no phase of life that I've been through that's been a mismanagement.
Yes.
Right?
I believe in that. Everything is planned.
Honestly. And so you have to pray for yourself. And if you truly believe that you have spiritual inclination, you have to ask yourself, if you won't abuse yourself for a friend, why would you do it for a partner that, regardless of how you feel for them, is optional?
But if we come back down to the point you just made, we've seen love, especially on Valentine's Day, deep love, where it's like, stop talk to your sister if you love me. Stop talking to your mum. It's just the two of us. Next thing you know, you've stopped talking to everybody because you just want to be with this person because they've consumed your whole life.
I pray for anybody that's in such a relationship, because it's not easy to step away from something like that, especially when you are in love. But I also pray for the person that's in fear of sharing that person they fell in love with their family.
Drunken in love. What if you've never felt love like this before?
Is it love or is it possession?
Sometimes I've seen people in love, and I got a little cousin, and every woman he falls in love with, they don't leave his side. And I'm like, what are you doing to these women?
But you know what? Sometimes when your heart is big, it's big. But I just pray for anybody that's in a relationship that feels in fear to experience love, to share love with someone, that they come out of that. You're not going to lose love if the person has their family. You're not going to lose love if the person has their friends. And you're certainly not going to lose love if they step out of their house. And if you do, they're not meant for you. It's okay to step out of unnatural feelings, and it's okay to be present in those feelings so you can truly heal. You can't avoid pain. And I think being dictated by humiliation and embarrassment is what tends to, mess around with people's decisions that they have to make for themselves. And an individual experience for yourself shouldn't affect your partner as long as they understand and identify with you, and as long as they respect you. Not everything you're going to agree on or with, but you can learn to grow together through it.
So you leaving the country every other month.
Right.
I'm stuck here. Mm-hmm. I'm jealous.
You're jealous because you don't know who you are. If you know who you are, you know what your career is, you know what your legacy stands for. Yeah. My legacy won't offend you. It's only people who are lost in themselves and lost through everyone else and the influence of everyone else. That's the person that has no sense of direction. So all they have is boredom. All they have is to get offended.
So basically just find someone that trusts you
because they trust themselves. If you trust, not
everyone can trust themselves.
Then come with me at times, or do something to actually help persevere through.
Become your manager. Could your partner be your manager?
I mean, it depends on the type of relationship, but I think space is healthy.
Yeah.
I do think space is healthy in any relationship. I think someone that's constantly with you 24/7 every day, all the time, anywhere, everywhere is ridiculous.
Some people
there has to be, that's crazy.
Memories.
That's crazy. I would say it's crazy simply because even if you want to go to the gym or if I want to go to the toilet, come on.
Well, you know what? Some relationships work like that, where they even finish each other's sentences, each other's food.
I think,
They know each other's friends.
Yeah, but I don't
They got one phone between the two of them.
But if you love the person and you feel so strongly with this person, you shouldn't be in fear to be free.
Tomorrow's not promised, so I want to spend every minute with you.
Okay. But at some point, I want to go to the gym by myself and listen to music.
And there's men in the gym.
No, that's too much. I think any type of insecurity that you have is for you to try and fix that. Yeah. And it's for me to support how you fix it. But I can't alter my life around what you're saying, because I know that God's direction can't be dictated through another man. The man has to be in respect of that, because if he was a musician, for example, and he has videos and he's got beautiful curvaceous women,
dancers,
it's not gonna upset me, because I'm coming from a line of, I do fashion and I do lingerie. It's strictly professional though.
Okay, so when you're seeing the women
and so
there,
it's fashion modeling I'm doing.
even if they have to touch him.
If you're going to step out, you're going to step out with or without that in my face.
Because I wanted to do acting. And if you're watching, and I went home, I said, I want to do acting. And I was told, if there's any woman rubbing up on you or any sex scenes, it's not happening. What do you say? That should be allowed.
See, it depends on the relationship. It depends on the person. There are certain boundaries that you may need to respect as their partner, which I understand and which I respect. But that with acting, it's acting. Do you
hear
mean?
that? Nadia, tell you here.
Acting.
So if I want to go and do romantic film, Nadia's in support. So just leave me alone to do my Idris Elba moment.
It depends, because there's specific boundaries that shouldn't be crossed.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Even for yourself as a professional
Get
actor.
a stunt double.
Not even like a stunt double, but just be in a position to say, this isn't cool.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. This has nothing to do with the script.
Okay.
You
But
know,
what if it's written in the script? They want that passion, and you think that you're best placed to do that passion scene.
yeah,
It's acting.
you can do it to a degree, but there's always some type of barrier between the two of you. There's something that doesn't take the scene too far.
That's when I would say, don't bring your woman or man on set. Because if you want to become one with the role and your woman's there giving you the daggers, you're not going to be able to perform.
Yeah. And
you're going to be nervous, and then it's going to come through the camera.
I was talking about the space, you see.
So what you're telling me then, because you want to get up to mischief, you don't want your man to come.
No. Not what I mean. I just mean that when you are in the element, I know my boundary is no nudity.
Okay.
I know my boundary is no pictures from the back with my butt.
Okay.
I know my boundary is no pictures with that look makes me feel uncomfortable, right? And my boundary is to represent the brand, the lingerie brand or the fashion brand or the runway.
The brand is the brand. I'm not your brand.
The brand of the lingerie.
Yeah.
So as long as you're representing that, there's going to be specific pictures you take in a real specific way.
To sell the lingerie.
To sell the lingerie. When you're selling a different perspective, or maybe being a model for yourself, there's certain pictures that you may take with a certain level of confidence. So, for example, you have the pictures that Ashley Graham takes. Okay. And then you've got the pictures of how Blac Chyna used to take her pictures, for example. So there's the difference.
She's now baptized,
which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, she's given all of that up.
Yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing. Any form of growth is a beautiful thing. Yeah.
And
I'm all for people being free, honestly.
And again, we look at that, and it's about being in control of yourself at all times.
Yes, it's about, yes, but you also need to experience life. Don't be afraid to experience your own flaws, because you won't learn without making mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes regardless of feeling like you could be scrutinized or ridiculed. You're not going to learn anything if you have no sense of expression and if everything is monetized.
What about a counsellor? Do you suggest everyone has some counselling?
No, it depends on the individual, because sometimes people can find some form of console through prayer. They can find it through a different lifestyle, maybe eating right, going to the gym, support of their family and friends, maybe traveling. It might be a different expression of creativity. It could be various different outlets that can help you. So it could be going to the beach,
So you don't really need a counsellor, but find out what...
Some people do.
Yeah.
Some people do, though. And I think in that sense, I like to be diplomatic, because you can't tell people what
to
need.
do. So find what works for you. Some people like holidays.
Yeah.
Some people might take their self out and just be one with yourself for the weekend, no phones.
Yeah.
So whatever works for the individual.
Whatever works for you. Because, you know, sometimes there are times where I like to go and see my DC and Marvel films by myself. Yeah. But that's...
Anyone else in the theatre with you? Just you one?
No, I mean, other people are there, but I just don't go with someone.
Are they with people?
They're with people, but that's not my business. I like to go by myself and watching concentrate.
So anyone watching, Nadia hasn't been stood up the times you've been seeing her in the cinema.
No.
She choose to go by herself.
Choose to go by myself, yes.
I would find that strange going to the cinema by myself.
It depends on what type of film you're watching, because for me, I'm a DC and Marvel head.
Okay. Spider-Man.
I'm sorry, I can't choose. I love Spider-Man.
You know, it's funny. I met some guys. They actually use some of these cameras. They are in a room and they got the suit on and they do all the characters. And like, wait a minute, all of that happens in here? So we have to give it to them with their what's it? Bionic something. I forgot. Yeah, but it's a lot of work that go into that. Sometimes people think that, the guy jumping off the roof is just normal jumping off the roof. There's a lot of, sometimes they end up broken bones and all sorts. So
it's a lot of hard work. But I love the outcome of it. Yeah. Reminds me a lot of my childhood watching the cartoons.
Okay, therapy. All right, so I'm glad we've had this conversation.
Yeah.
What's next?
What's next? So I've got a fashion show tomorrow.
Not everyone can make that. Lastminute.com. Yeah.
A lot of the time, you know, if you start modeling, it starts to
last minute.
But I've got a fashion show tomorrow. I've got quite a few photo shoots coming up because I've done Bravissimo, I've done Curvy Kate, I've done Vogue, I've done various different brands as well.
Are these just for women?
But
sexist
also
brand. We need to protest. I want my viewers and fans out there, go and stand outside these buildings and protest. Tell them Gwenton will come on the bill. Yeah,
you could do it.
I just start modeling for myself. The Gwenton brand.
Yes, do it.
Yeah, and have little dolls and that.
Do it. Have your little.
Yeah. All right.
Little line.
So the next time you don't see me, I might be in a little tank top and some shorts. But yeah, on this serious note, are we going to bring the music out or are we going to keep it locked away?
Potentially. I've also got a pending case, so that will be another conversation for another day.
Yeah. Do you want us to follow you on that?
You can. I've already touched base on it, but this is just to any man, any woman, any teenager. If you've ever faced stalking, don't feel afraid to hold the person accountable, no matter how long it takes. I'm actually facing a case right now, and I want to make sure that my stalker is held accountable for what he's been doing for the past 2 years. So I just wanted to give that serious message out to everybody.
You need one security guard.
I might have to get one.
Yeah.
I
got a couple of my clients now getting their badges.
Okay.
And they know how to handle themselves. So if you need to hire them, I'll get them to come and they'll look after you.
May have to.
But this again, honest. I know it's not funny being stalked because I thought it only happened in America. And now we're seeing it here. Even a police officer recently got done for stalk. It wasn't him, was it?
For stalking.
Was it the policeman?
I'm not too sure. I haven't actually looked into any recent ones.
Okay.
I've been so consumed with
your own one. But
it's crazy.
Someone watching, because I always have to play devil's advocate before they get me in the comments. Why was you not sticking up? Would you say it's a part of the job, or would you just say you're being stalked just for being a woman?
No, the guy that actually, he found my house.
Yeah, no, that's crossing the line.
That was the first time I've ever encountered him.
Okay.
I never knew him, never met him, never been introduced to him. We weren't cordial. We don't even have an association of friends.
So you've never seen him before?
Never seen him before. He knocked on my door. That was the first time.
And what did he say to you?
He was like trying to present himself to be like a YouTuber. I was like, okay. Then he tried to step into my house. I had to push him back and I closed the door. And then I found out that, like, basically he's been going through huge avenues to find where I live. Yeah. And regardless of how I dress, the way I'm shaped and what I do, if I've said no, it's no. It's no.
And I think what you just said there is a very serious thing.
Because if you're a guy and let's just say your shirt's off and you've got a nice chiseled chest, and I approach you, you say no to me. Yeah. It doesn't give me a right to continually come to your house and knock on your door and try and follow you and, you know.
And you know what you just said there, I'm glad you raised that, because men get assaulted all the time. Yeah. It's like women pinch men's bums, and if you then complain about it, it's like, what's wrong with you, man? Fix up. So whether it's men or women,
it doesn't make a difference.
It's like me. If I go on the TV, you have one or two people that watch the TV and they think they know you through the TV, and they see you in public. Hi, Gwen, and you're like, where do I know you from? I don't want to be rude. And then they're like, Channel 4, you was on there. I'm like, oh, hi. But we need to understand as well that people are always looking for a hero or their own personal celebrity, which then crosses that line of someone's personal space. Come into your door, that's not acceptable.
That is not acceptable at all.
You had someone behind there open the door and it weren't you, and next thing you know, they're on a charge.
Because if it was my brother, it would have been a different situation.
Do you get what I'm saying?
So,
we're here for who? Next thing you know, your brother's in trouble because someone can't control themselves.
That's what I mean. And, you know, he's a very creative guy. He's doing drum and bass, been in the industry for a long time. As Black people, especially as to why I'm wearing black today, I want to change the narrative of how they see us. Yes. We say black is beautiful, but I really genuinely believe it. That's why I've got black on today, from the lipstick even.
All the way down.
All the way down, because honestly, this whole experience has changed my perspective on how we're treated with the justice system. It's changed my perspective on so much. And the fact that we have to fight for our protection. And I think it's less of a fight when people are being convicted when they're our skin tone.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
I think what I'm happy for is that you're not allowing this to stop you stopping him.
No.
Because this needs to send a message to any other man or woman out there that thinks that it's acceptable to stalk people. You will be arrested.
Absolutely.
And you will go to jail.
And it's taken me 2 years with this.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes long.
It takes a long time. But he's had a huge history of stalking people, touching people inappropriately. Okay. And he did it with me, and did it with me more often than anyone else. Okay. So I thought to myself, he didn't touch me inappropriately, but what he has actually, no, he did. He brushed past me and my friend inappropriately. But what he has done is given me reason to use my voice as a person, not just as a woman, but as a Black woman, to make clear that our safety is important.
Yeah. And
I mean that.
I think, again, this is where we come back down to, when people are going through these things, it's a mental challenge.
Yeah.
With the time that it takes, it eats away at you. And if you haven't got a distraction, you then start feeling, did I do something?
Right.
And then when they start digging up in your life, and we come back down to the video and the picture of them and whatever, and they're like, but your ex-boyfriend's come on board because your ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend upset with you and says, don't listen to her, man. That's the way she is.
No.
Next thing you know, because of somebody else, you're then being looked at. Wait a minute, are you wasting police time, or should you be arrested? And this is something. What you
need to ask them is if their daughter, if their mother is in the same situation, because it doesn't take for your clothes or for you to have a specific type of tenacity or vernacular to be approached by people in this type of way. When a person has inappropriate intentions with you, that's it. It came out in the Daily Mail. I didn't even know. I was contacted by one of the reporters that was at his trial that had given him a restraining order to stay away from me before we reached the actual trial, which is like to stay away up until the court day.
The court day, yeah.
It got put in the news. I didn't even know about it. And I actually had to share it because so many people were asking me about this experience. And it's the first time I've ever dealt with the police. It's the first time I've ever dealt with a situation pertaining to this.
Okay.
This man is inappropriate. He's a grown man knocking on women's doors or finding out where they live and constantly trying to follow them and trying to, so it's inappropriate. It is.
I think even if we look back at a lot of the cases, even the ones we've got Sarah Everard.
Right.
If that was nipped in the bud from early, maybe we wouldn't have ended up where we ended up. So we need to understand that there are men out there and women that leave their house on a daily basis, whether they got mental health, whether they're on drugs, or whether they think they're above the law.
Yeah.
It's not acceptable.
It isn't.
And if I had a friend, because this is something we have to put out there, if I had a friend and I suspected, not even with evidence, that they were that way inclined or they even run a joke with me, I'm stopping that straight away.
Absolutely.
And that goes for family, even your own children, because you got some mums and dads
that will protect them.
What?
Yes.
And these are the things what nobody wants to talk about, is that when you've got, whether it's rapists, murderers, unsavory characters in your house, you don't call them out. And even, let's say it goes to court, you find out that's your brother, your dad, your uncle, whatever. Don't make an excuse for their bad behavior, because what you just said there is key point. If that was me, and let's say it's a female saying it, would you have liked it? No. So why is it acceptable then for you
to accept it,
to deal with that? So even this person's family need to check him
about his
and
behavior.
have a word with him. And if he needs help, psychiatric help, get him that help.
Exactly. Because I think there's a total of 6 women in my area that have encountered the same behavior by him.
Same.
Yes, but my one is more to an extreme because it's been over the duration of 2 years. Yeah. And even down to when I've gone to fashion shows. I did a fashion show not too long ago, February. Yeah. He tried to follow me. I had to call the police. Yeah. So it's all things that.
You definitely need security. Yeah. This is something that I'm advocating, not only for musicians. I got lawyers now, which will protect people. I got security now. Yeah. And I've always pushed that, not only with the musician, the footballers, have £15 an hour. Just put them for the 2 hours. Yeah. Get you in, and if you know you're there for 3 hours, the £45 gives you that peace of mind.
It's worth your safety.
Because it's like, you know what, my security's there. Exactly. Even if I can see you, I know that my security is there. Because sometimes it's just the peace of mind of, oh God, you're here again. It could be an ex-partner. It don't even have to even be that wild.
Right.
Or you break up with someone and they know your whole schedule.
Right.
Because you were like that.
Close.
So now you've gone wherever they're turning up, or, oh, I've just happened to be in this restaurant and you're here. You're like, oh, not again. When do I get to live my life without you being in it? I think we support the security.
Definitely.
And depending on what police force you're dealing with, you might not get the quick, speedy outcome that you need. So for anyone out there going through this, please stick in there and be strong. As you see here, we've got Nadia here refusing to be broken by this horrible man's bad behavior. And for his family out there, please, I'm begging you, if he needs help, get him help.
Yes.
And let him know this behavior is not acceptable. None of my friends could be stalking women or making women feel like this. Even if it were my own son
or vice versa
or dad, I'll be putting a stop to this. And also women as well.
Yeah.
Because I've had women doing the things that they think's appropriate.
Nope.
No pinching men's bums or hugging men inappropriately. If a man feels uncomfortable, he also has the right
to say no to you.
To say no.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to say thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And we've had a good conversation here.
Great one.
With a lot of food for thought. And also, we've actually given people enough if they are thinking of joining the business.
Definitely. I'd say, listen, if you have any reason, don't allow age, size, height, mental health, anything of that nature to stop you from progressing in your career or starting one. Just start one, and start one today. It can start with just even a selfie of yourself, but you need to be open to the fact that you won't be told yes straight away, but don't allow that to deter you. It's a matter of, you know, longevity instead of just quickly getting out there and quickly having like such success at such a high rate. You have to be realistic. So if you want to pursue a modeling career, do so. Follow models Jesus. I can't speak. Follow Models of Diversity's charity. You can see them on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and also follow myself, Goddess Diamonds 88.
All right, people. What an amazing show we had there. And sometimes you have conversations with people and it's hard. But this conversation was really, really easy to have and learned a lot myself. And I don't have to go gym now. So you might see me on the front page very soon. But one of the things that we did learn here today is this. Don't make anybody stop you from chasing your dreams, no matter who it is. We've all got one life and we're allowed to live it happy. Thank you for watching The Gwenton Show. Like, subscribe and share.